In 1985, Jonathan Pollard was sentenced to life in prison for selling Israel classified information. Was that a just punishment?
The sentence against Pollard was was grossly disproportionate to the sentences that people received for being agents of countries that are friendly to the United States. In similar cases, when American citizens transferred intelligence information or classified information to other allied states with the United States, like South Korea, for instance, their sentences generally ranged to up to 5 years. So yes, Pollard's sentence was grossly disproportionate to comparable crimes committed by other American citizens on behalf of countries that are friendly and allied with the United States.
So why is Jonathan Pollard still in prison?
I mean, he got a life in prison sentence, and I think he's up for parole in about 10 years or something like that. And the only way, given the fact that he has minimal 30 years, I think, to serve in prison before he's even eligible for parole, is for the president to give him a presidential pardon, and no president since his conviction has done so. That's why he's still in prison.
Why is it in the U.S.'s interest to keep Jonathan Pollard in prison?
Former Director of Central Intelligence, James Woolsey, told me after I met with Pollard in 2005 that he believes that maintaining Pollard's imprisonment is antithetical to U.S. national interest because the United States and Israel are now fighting the war against the exact same enemies of the global jihad, and therefore, since the United States has an interest in strengthening its strategic alliance with Israel at this time of war, the United States should pardon Pollard, and he should be allowed to leave prison. But that's a general U.S. interest. There are people in the United States who have an interest in maintaining Pollard in prison for the same reason that they had an interest in ensuring that he got a disproportionately large and harsh sentence when he was convicted in 1985. And these people are people in the FBI and in the administration who feel that basically for anti-Semitic reasons that Jews are not trustworthy and that American Jews form some sort of fifth column against American national interests. It's generally a view that is propagated by anti-Semites and maintained by anti-Semites. And there's a very strong echo of that sentiment still in the halls of power in Washington.
As a soldier in the Israeli army, one of the fundamental principles we know is never leave a fellow soldier out in the field. Why isn't Israel doing more and making it a real point of contention with the United States to fight for Pollard's release?
Israel is behaving like a coward in all of this. I think, it's a sense that we're not good enough for the Americans, that we have to somehow or another curry favor with them in order to make them be nice to us, not because of respect, but because of pity. And I think that the attempt of Israel to distance itself from Pollard for so many years, and even today, and under Ariel Sharon, under Sharon and Olmert, Israel has done absolutely nothing to try to get Pollard released from prison. I think it's because they have this mentality, which is really the mentality of people who are not free.
In 2005, you went and visited Jonathan Pollard in prison. What was that visit like? Does he feel betrayed?
It was horrible. I mean, I left the prison in North Carolina. I don't remember feeling more traumatized by just about anything that I've seen. I cried for 2 days after I met him. It was just so horrible because really his plight goes to the very core of what Israel was supposed to end, which is Jewish humiliation and Jewish persecution. He believes that he feels very betrayed by Israel, and he feels betrayed by American Jews who have also done next to nothing to try to get him out.
Do Jews around the world have a responsibility and an obligation to fight to secure Pollard's release? And if so, what can they do?
The Jews of the world really should be standing up to our own leaders and telling them that this is what we demand. I think Pollard's imprisonment, in a way, imprisons every single one of us, because the fact that he remains in prison and the fact that our leaders refuse to raise the issue of his continued confinement with the Americans in any of their conversations with them shows that Israel, too, has yet to fulfill the promise of our establishment and of our founding.
You've just recently published a new book. Could you tell us about that?
Well, my new book is called Shackled Warrior, Israel and the Global Jihad, and it's a compilation of my columns in the Jerusalem Post from the last 5 years. And basically what I tried to do in the book was take my columns and classify them by theme and show that how Israel and the West are denying our basic and fundamental alliance with one another, the joint dangers that we all face in the midst of this global jihad,